Instead of being so pressed that he had to see gay men behind bars, Boosie really needs to address why his IQ points seem to be locked up as well.
I'm the librarian, and I came to read.
Happy 4th of July, I guess, to you all. Well, I think it's Malia's birthday today, so we're gonna change that as minorities from 4th of July to Happy Malia Obama Day, because that's more relevant to us, and honestly, it makes more sense. Make sure that you guys are keeping your eyes wide open and visiting fortheculturepodcast.com, as it will be being updated today with a new sickening-ass episode addressing these issues that I'm about to talk about in this video, and a bunch of the bullshit that has been going on for this whole month. Now, I decided to give you hoes a little bit of trade realness. I'm giving you Iron Man because I feel like I'm gonna have to zip zap zoom on some of you hoes. I feel like I'm gonna have to turn into maybe somebody's Captain America with his weak ass throwing frisbees around. You know, I'm just giving you Avengers tease. I'm giving you mass trade with this motherfucking fitted hat on, turned to the back. You know, I'm giving you masculine realness, even though my voice clearly is not. I had been tweeting so much about it, and I've been talking so much about it online, that I said, you know what, I'm going to just make a goddamn video about this shit and get it out the way. I want to talk about why your faves, including Future, including Boosie, and including some of these new ass people, these new rappers who I don't know the names of, okay? I want to know why they continue to miss the fucking point. They continue to miss what Jay-Z is saying. If you're not aware, Jay-Z was just basically saying, you girls are holding your money up to your ears and you're holding these monies up and taking pictures and trying to start on Instagram and shit like that. But in all actuality, real wealthy people don't do that type of shit. He was just saying that if you're interested in building generational wealth, if you're interested in building something that lasts, you need to do some more research, hon. You need to do more research, hon. You need to go and sit down and read your motherfucking contracts. He said, why are you guys still taking advances nowadays? A lot of you girls probably don't even know what advances are, and y'all hold steady thinking that you're stacking up. Your labels are allowing you to borrow X amount of money, not realizing that that money has to be paid back by your sales, and if you flop, if your sales are not good, then you still owe the label money. You see what I'm saying? Jay-Z was saying, like, girl, you're accepting advances, you're not reading y'all contract, you're not making investment, y'all are flashing this money around, and it can be gone within a matter of seconds. The way that you hoes be at the strip club and shit like that, y'all gonna have to make 10 albums a goddamn year just to keep up with your frivolous ass spending, and you're not making any investments. Jay-Z said in one of his songs, like, girl, I could have, instead of buying all these chains that my ass did when I was younger, I could have bought a property. He singled out a specific example. I could have bought a property, I think it was in New York City, I'm not sure, for $2 million. I could have sat my ass down and waited a couple years now, and that shit is worth $25 million right now. Instead of buying the dumb shit that my ass was buying, instead of flashing my money around and shit like that, I could have been putting my money where my mouth is, bought this $2 million property, sell that shit for $25 million, and bitch make some money off that shit. He also said some shit about his art, which a lot of you girls make fun of. For some reason, oh, you came from the streets and now you talking about arts and Mona Lisas, all that shit like that, and art pieces, you visiting art galleries and shit. This nigga said, I bought a piece for, I don't know if it was $1 million. He bought a piece for, say, $1 million. He said, I wait a couple years, that piece is worth $8 million, and I sell that shit back. He was saying that these are the business type of moves that my ass has been doing recently, and if I had been doing that shit when I was younger and I just got in the game, I would be in an even better position than I am in right now. So when you girls are out here saying, well, oh, I don't know, Boosie asked, oh, I'm not, no disrespect to Jay, but I'm gonna do what Future talking about, oh, well, girl, I'm still gonna do, you ain't got the juice type of shit. They holding up these stacks. I don't know if they owe their labels money, girl. Wasn't Boosie out here asking for money recently for surgeries, or I don't know, for medical care or some shit like that? Future, your ass, instead of trying to feel like you got hurt, you got hit, like hit dogs will holler, like a lot of people say, instead of feeling like you got hit about this money in the Instagram thing, you need to be worried about the fact that Russell Wilson's take your son out to meet Michael Jordan and shit like that, because Jay-Z said, I don't want nobody else raising my, and he took direct shots at your ass, but instead you're worrying about the money on Instagram type of tease. It shows that your priorities are fucked up, and it also shows that you girls have not been paying attention to what Jay-Z had been saying. And he was, I don't think he was shading the girls who show off their money, who show off the things that they have. I don't think he was saying that. But if that's the only thing that you do with your money, you show it off, you try to act like, okay, girl, this shit's gonna be here forever, so I'm just gonna be on Instagram showing you what you ain't got. He was just saying, if that's the only thing that you're doing with your money, I can understand why it would upset you, because if you were doing other things like investing your money, if you were doing other things like buying and flipping properties, if you're doing other other things like reading your contracts, if you happen to show your money off a little bit in an Instagram video or some shit, whatever, it will not bother you because you know you're diversifying your means of income. But I know why it hurt the girls who are up here. The only thing they're doing with it is probably getting borrowed money from their goddamn labels and showing that shit off. I can see why you guys are pressed, because you know that if something happens to your voice or some shit, you'll be out of luck. Jay-Z literally laid out blueprints for you guys. Instead of killing yourselves over this rented ass neighborhood that you're in, you need to, when you make it, you need to go ahead, go back to that motherfucker, buy that bitch, you know, make it easier for people of color to rent that shit out, but you're also getting the money from people renting it out. Like, it's just, he gave y'all hoes business plans, and yet you all are still out here missing the goddamn point. Yet again, we're proving that a lot of people don't know business and aren't trying to learn business. And it comes from things as simple as Boosie responding to Jay-Z from an Instagram live motherfucking video. You know what I mean? Just branding around everybody is trash. A lot of these new niggas think that, okay, nah, bitch, I ain't never had shit. You know what I mean? I saw a caption underneath one of theirs. I never had shit, no disrespect to Jay, but it feels good to be able to throw some money down on the ground and $100,000, $200,000 and take a picture of it because I came from the hood. I never had that shit. Jay-Z is telling you, okay, that's cute, you're living in bliss right now, but if you're not careful with that shit, no matter how much money you have, you won't be able to learn how to manage that shit. So he's literally telling you from experience and from the mistakes that he's made, like, bitch, I did some dumbass shit. And he's not saying, as I said, that there's anything wrong with taking a picture and putting it on social media, but he's saying a lot of time the mentality behind that shit is trash because you guys are not looking for investments, you're looking to show it off. That kind of makes sense because, as you said, as one of you guys said underneath your captions, you never had shit, you were always struggling for money. So I guess when you come into new money, you feel like, okay, well, bitch, I've been deprived for so long, it's time for me to enjoy this shit, it's time for me to show it off. But he's saying if y'all act like that forever, it may not last. I just don't understand how you guys think that Jay-Z was trying to disrespect you guys when he was literally laying out the foundations of how he got this shit. And it really takes a lot of nerve for some of you new niggas who are worth $2-3 million. I mean, you took that shit from the label and they said, girl, if you don't, bitch, the label will charge you for studio time. The label will charge you for hiring people to motherfucking make these music videos that your ass puts out. And if it doesn't sell, girl, you still owe them for all that shit. You owe them for the studio time, you owe them for the staff that made your goddamn music videos, you owe them for all that shit. So have you hoes on reading a contract and you're worth $2, $3, $4 million thinking that you can come at somebody who's worth $800 and something million, bitch, who's literally trying to help you guys out, who's literally trying to help y'all out. A lot of times you don't realize that you're just gonna be a slave to the goddamn label if you don't think of a way to maneuver around this shit. We've heard a lot of horror stories about many famous people who have been in debt, who have been not paid enough. They have not read their contract, so they signed some bullshit. They signed themselves to some bullshit, and they thinking that just because the label said, here, this is something to live off of for a year or some shit, they think that that shit is cute. No, girls, they're using your ass, and that's what Jay-Z said, like, girl, you need to make sure you own your life, own your own life, because if another company owns that shit, no matter how much money fuck you make, girl, they still make the rules at the end of the day. For you girls thinking that shit is cute, you need to be careful. And Jay-Z loves to show y'all the things that he has sometimes. So he be talking about Boosie, he be having this big ass motherfucking gold chain on, bitch, and just be bragging about the shit that he purchased, bitch. He be bragging about the art that he has sometimes. So I don't think he thinks that there's anything wrong with enjoying what you have, but he was just saying that you have to make sure that you find ways to invest, budget your shit out, read your contract, stop taking trash loans from people. Loans are advances. Make sure you're trying to build generational wealth. Are you gonna be the only motherfucker who's rich in your family? Are you gonna build up some shit to make sure that your children, because all you hoes have a bunch of kids, are okay? Are you gonna be the only one with any type of power in the industry? Do you see what I'm saying? Are you gonna be running out of funds? He said, I don't want you hoes to get rich and die poor. You know what I mean? It don't make no sense for y'all to start out poor, get rich, and then die poor. He's literally just warning and trying to help y'all, and I don't see why y'all took it as a disrespect or y'all took it as a shot or some shit. Jay-Z's not trying to come for you hoes that are worth 1/100th of his goddamn wealth. He's not pressed about you bitches. He's just trying to help you girls out to make sure that he can better the community. But if you're gonna take that shit, you think if Jay-Z wanted to diss your ass, it would be to give you best financial practices, girl? He would just blackball half you hoes. So I'm not sure what type of shots you think a billionaire is worried about taking at you 100,000aires. I don't know what y'all thought that shit was, but I wish you guys would just use your brains, use your brain power a little bit more and really analyze what the fuck he's saying. Okay? Stop buying all that lean and lean your ass over into somebody's investment firm so that you can build generational wealth and improve and enhance the community. Have a good goddamn evening.